Arizona Horizon's continuing coverage of philanthropy in Arizona focuses tonight on a group called Experience Matters. It's a nonprofit that connects talented individuals, age 50 or more, with nonprofit and social service organizations that need their help. Earlier, I spoke with Nora Hannah, the CEO of Experience Matters. Thank you for joining us tonight on Arizona Horizon.
Yeah, pleasure to be here.
Experience Matters. What is the group designed to do?
Well, we're a relatively new nonprofit. I've been around for about 3 years, and we're really leveraging this huge bow wave of baby boomers like us, who are now trying to figure out what they want to do with these extra maybe 30 bonus years they have after traditional retirement.
And we hear a lot that boomers changing the nature of retirement, changing the nature of this and that, changing the nature of shifting careers and volunteering later in life.
Certainly, I think they are changing the nature of volunteerism. You know, the generation that came before the baby boomers, the traditionalists as they're called, really volunteered out of civic duty. And I find that the baby boomers, and this has been well studied, want to do it because they want to make a difference in the world. They want to leave a legacy. And because they generally had careers, they want to do it in a way that they operated in their business, which is very collaborative, team-oriented, to have a say in what's happening.
So more than just the right thing to do, it's a thing that for a lot of boomers, it's what I want to do, but I want to do it on my own terms.
That's absolutely true. They really have a lot to give back, both personally and financially. But they do want to do it a little bit on their own terms in a way that is not only meaningful for the organization that they're working at, but in a way that's personally meaningful to them as well.
Back to your organization in a second here. Who is involved with Experience Matters?
From a participant or a funding perspective?
Just from who runs the group and those sorts of things.
Yeah. So we really look at our organization and what we do in sort of this image of a bow tie. We have supply and demand. And demand are the nonprofits and government organizations who need volunteers and services to achieve their mission. And the supply is the 1 million plus baby boomers we have in Maricopa County. And so we work bringing those two sides together in a marketplace, which is kind of the knot of the bow tie.
As far as the demand is concerned, what is demanded? What are nonprofits and social services looking for?
That's a really good question, because I think that has been the biggest challenge of our organization. We have found boomers seeking us out. We have had no issues recruiting talent to organizations, but finding organizations that can use baby boomers on those terms is a little more challenging. They bring skills that are very strategic, you know, like human resources and technology and process improvement. And most nonprofits don't yet have a system in place where they can engage volunteer talent on those kind of high-level projects. So we work with them to help them.
Is that different, though? I mean, in the past, let's say someone who was 50 plus 20 years ago says, I'd like to volunteer with that organization. How has that dynamic changed?
Well, I think volunteer models in the past were very traditional in that you had volunteers doing more simple tasks, answering the phone, serving meals, doing something that wouldn't require a lot of skill or a lot of training, and generally they didn't participate at very high level in the decision making in the organization, and that whole model is changing. So at Experience Matters ourselves, we bring in people who run projects for us for 6 months, and then they leave the organization, but they lead the project for our organization as a volunteer.
That's interesting. So in the past, you might have folks who would stay with a particular service or nonprofit for years on end doing maybe a task that is more traditional. Now you have almost helicoptering of volunteers?
You know, that's absolutely true. The traditionalists would volunteer and they would be associated with one organization for 10 or 20 years. But the boomers like to pick and choose, do it for, 3, 6, 9 months, and then they may go on to a different project at a different organization.
So as far as what you see, the challenge of connecting folks over the age of 50 with nonprofits, what would be the biggest issue there?
I think getting everyone's expectations set appropriately. I think a lot of people, many of these boomers are coming in from business careers, and there's this thought of, nonprofits would do better if they could just run more like a business. Now, there's a little more to it than that. They need to do a better job of listening and learning and understanding why nonprofits are different. And similarly, on the nonprofit side, they need to overcome the fear of bringing someone who's really high level, skilled and talented into their organization and letting them participate, on a peer level.
if someone's watching right now, they're a boomer, they're on the other side of life there, and now they're thinking, I've done that, I want to do this for a while. I'd like to volunteer, I've got maybe a group in mind, or maybe I don't have a group in mind. Where do they go? What do they do?
Well, that's what we're here for. And we have a number of different ways that they can engage. We have workshops called Explore Your Future, and that helps you figure out where would I like to participate, what is important to me. And a lot of people don't have that level of self-awareness about what are issues that inspire them. We also offer ways to engage them, from doing a short-term project to doing a one-year fellowship, and we'll place you within an organization that uses your skills and talents.
Interesting. Before we go, I know Wednesday now you have an event with a speaker here. Talk to us about the speaker, the guest, what the event is designed to do.
Perfect. Well, it is Wednesday night. Marcy Albaher, who is a New York Times journalist, wrote something called the Encore Handbook. And it's really about how to embark on your Encore career, everything from finding the right organization to financing it to figuring out what's most important to you. She is doing her national book launch right here in Arizona, and so we're having an event that's open to the public who want to attend and hear what she has to say.
Is there anything that you can tell us that she has to say, maybe an overriding principle of how she sees this Encore career development going?
I would say the overriding principle is to really understand what's important to you. And I think a lot of us haven't asked ourselves that question. We've just pursued our careers, because it was the next thing we needed to do. Now you really have this opportunity to do whatever you choose to do.
Well, it sounds fascinating. Good luck on Wednesday, and good luck again with Experience Matters. Sounds like you're doing good work. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
It's been my pleasure.
And as we mentioned, Experience Matters is hosting a discussion with Marcy Albaher, the author of the Encore Career Handbook. Albaher is launching a national book tour this Wednesday evening in downtown Phoenix. For more information, check online at experiencematters.org.